We're also hearing a lot of diverse concerns from our student populations as well. There's a lot of confusion over plagiarism generally, and the confusion doesn't just lie in, am I cheating if I use this tool or not? There's a lot of gray area that students and faculty themselves are still trying to feel out about what exactly constitutes plagiarism and how transparent do students need to be when they're using AI. For instance, if they used it for topic formulation, do they need to admit that in some kind of context, even if they didn't copy and paste information they directly got from AI? There's a lot of frustration over hallucinations. If you go onto ChatGPT's interface or really any other AI tool, you'll see an authoritative and very credible looking interface, and students expect it to work in a credible and authoritative way. So when they get hallucinations, when they get false citations, when they get errant information, that can cause frustration and confusion. We're also seeing a lot of lack of clarity about what the tool even is. We've hosted a few webinars so far, and due to some informal polling, we know that a lot of our students who may be interested in AI software simply don't exactly know what the software is. So we're starting at a pretty remedial level of AI literacy for a lot of the patrons that we're talking to about ChatGPT. Then there's concern over narrow information. Again, students are using this interface that feels very credible, very smart, very authoritative, but when they ask things, for instance, about the Ukrainian war or the conflict in Israel or anything about Donald Trump's trials, they're basically told, I don't have access to that information. Again, it's important to point out here, most of our students are coming to us using ChatGPT 3.5, which has a cutoff date and is training information at 2021, so current events are somewhat off limits. This example right here is a chat transcript where a librarian actually engaged with a student who had used ChatGPT for research purposes. And we can see in this instance how students and librarians together are negotiating the use of this particular tool. As you can see, a student reached out and said, hey, can you help me find this paper? I have a citation. And through some dialogue, the librarian was able to ascertain the student used ChatGPT to get that citation. The citation does not, in fact, exist anywhere because it was hallucinated. And there's a kind of learning experience that happened between the librarian and the patron with whom that librarian was engaging. And I think it's important also to point out, we can see a kind of nuanced anxiety that the student is expressing, like, is it okay that I'm using this, even though there's clearly no plagiarism happening? They were reticent to admit they used it. And we've seen this over and over again in our interactions with patrons.